podcast from the coast.
There's no more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Here's Johnny.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
This 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
The boogeyman is real, and you found him.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Have you checked the children?
Welcome, everybody, to episode 41 of They Cast from the Coast, the cult and horror podcast and web series from Eastern Canada. My name is Adam, and I have with me, as always, Tim. It's them damn enchiladas, Johnson. I'm trying to keep it a small theme. I love that movie, so I gotta milk it a little bit.
Yeah.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. I've had a very productive week and weekend, so been working on some good stuff. And what have you been up to?
Working on a secret project that you guys are both involved with, but we didn't make an announcement yet, so we're not going to talk about it yet.
Nope, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to wait until Tim has a little bit more done with it, and then we'll post like some sort of like a surprise about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be done like tonight.
Sweet.
And it's actually like, I just showed it to Anthony, and Anthony's like, whoa. He goes, that looks like something that should be like on one of those like sci-fi channels or something.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Nice. Yeah.
We have
So
not
it's
yet
pretty
seen
cool.
anything, so.
I picked the perfect song. It's got like a very retro Stranger Things kind of vibe to it. Like it's the perfect like opening song.
Yes, can't wait, man. So you've been working heavy on that, and
Yeah, and just literally got finished watching the first episode of Netflix Punisher. The first episode, in my opinion, did not disappoint. I got into it. Kind of unfortunate that I had to jump on here. It's my cell phone.
okay.
I'm here in TCM.
I'm just like, ooh.
It's the perfect ringtone. It's the perfect for text messages. Yeah. So I watched that yesterday. I had the opportunity to go see the Justice League.
Oh,
Ah.
and overall,
I hated it.
Okay.
I hated it.
you hated it.
The tone. Well, let me explain it, and I won't give any spoilers away or anything. But seeing what Warner Brothers and DC have done with their cinematic universe so far, it's either been one or the other. It's either way too much or not enough, right? It's either, and the unfortunate thing is all these movies that have come out have had excellent things in them.
Yeah.
Like things that you're like, oh my god, I never thought in my wildest dreams as a comic book fan I would see that in live action.
Yeah.
And there's been many, many times, but it's their execution overall that lacks. And the thing that they did with the new Justice League movie is when you put out 3 movies one way and then switch it up and make it another way, like there's always been this grounded in reality, this gritty tone, and Justice League was like funny and bright, and like though some characters benefited from having this kind of attitude switch, to see Batman crack a joke and smile, it just was not in character. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of things like that. But with that negative out of the way, I've never been like excited leaving a movie theater after watching a DC movie. So, like I said, there was a lot of really good stuff, and the fact that they got Danny Elfman to do the soundtrack, Batman had his 1989 Batman theme play.
No way.
Yes.
Superman had the John Williams do associated. Okay. Yeah, so it was moments like that where I'm like, I love it. And then, there's other things. So when I say I hate it, that's what I mean. But out of everything that's come out by DC, this is probably the most enjoyable, the most fun to watch.
Oh, good.
But, I mean, if you're looking for, I don't know, an in-depth kind of superhero movie, I don't know, it was just...
Who the hell goes to the movies to see an in-depth psychological superhero movie or something that's, deep and philosophical meaning? No, I want action.
I go to get entertained when I go see a Marvel or a DC movie. And you know what? I give it thumbs up if I walk out of that theater and I can honestly say, you know what? I was entertained for those 2 hours.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like,
yeah.
I was entertained, and I was excited to leave. And I went with a bunch of people, and, we all went out to eat afterwards, and that's all we were talking about. That was awesome, and this has happened, and this was awesome, and, I didn't like that, and you know what I mean? Like, it was a good time out at the movies, and I had to, like, bite my tongue a lot so I didn't come across as, like, oh, he's a critic, you know what I mean? Even though most of my time is spent doing critiques. But besides that, I've very slowly kind of plugged away at some editing for pictures and, preparing for the secret episode. Ooh, I almost said... listen, you want to know what? Let's just tell everybody.
All right, like, Tim, do the announcement, my friend.
People of the internet across the world, I would like to take this opportunity as 1/3 of They Cast from the Coast to officially announce that we have kind of a spin-off show, an add-on show, where it is literally we're going to just go and review a movie, and we'll have a rating system, and it's literally just going to be a self-contained small episode that we affectionately are going to call They Cast from the Coast Presents Filmgoria.
Yeah!
So, I'm really excited because we, right after this episode, are going to film our first episode of this, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and the energy is, I'm hoping, going to be as high as, the conversations that we have here, and it's going to be very much like They Cast from the Coast. It's just going to be shorter and to the point. We're not going to have all this extra stuff like round tables and rated S for shit and all that kind of stuff, which is awesome, but that is going to stay on this show. And this other show, we're going to be able to, I don't know, I think, I like the idea of, like, maybe focusing on a series of films, a franchise of films, where we'll go through 1 through 10 of, whatever, right? So, I don't know, I'm really excited to do this.
Yes, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
It'll produce more content and give the fans more to listen to and to watch, so perfect. Excellent. Tim's been working hard on this, everybody, and we haven't actually seen anything that he's talking about, so it's...
Heart and soul.
Heart and soul.
Heart and soul.
Heart and soul, right there, guys. Right there.
Just kidding.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's good. So let's move on down the table, then. Let's talk to Dave, because it's time for Dave.
Hi.
You were done, Tim.
You're cutting me off?
I'm cutting you off,
Get
Tim.
one of those big,
just like the
hooks.
bartender. Big white fluffy headphones, Miles.
That's me.
No. It should be Dave. I just got a new haircut, Miles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that
no,
too.
but that's when you say it. You haven't overused that one yet.
All right, then I'll say it with Filmgoria. Then everybody watch out for that because I'll say that.
Nice, excellent. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Looking forward to tonight's episode. It's going to be a good chat tonight. I got a great feeling about this one. I don't know, this past week or so has been pretty busy with, I finally got a chance to finish Stranger Things Season 2.
Yeah!
Wow.
Nice.
Like, blown away. The caliber of Season 2. Well,
2 minutes alone was enough to give me goosebumps.
They raised the bar, and it blew me away. Like, it was solid. I mean, you see that, some series have a really strong out-of-the-gate Season 1, and you're so hyped for Season 2, and Season 2 comes along, and sometimes it doesn't quite meet expectations, but Stranger Things Season 2 met or exceeded expectations in most regards. I thought it was fantastic, so
100%.
I'll be looking forward to Season 3. Yep.
Absolutely, man. Great.
And yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been doing this week, other than directing duties on the play that I'm working on, and of course watching the movie that we're going to talk about tonight. So that's pretty much what I've been doing the past week.
Nice. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. As for me, I've been working on a couple little side projects in and out of the house, just kind of little things. And next week, it's getting close to Christmas time, apparently. So next week, our local town is having the Parade of Lights, the Santa Claus parade, as it speaks. So the wife has me dragging shit out of the attic and getting things out, and because you got to be lit up for Christmas time by the end of this week when the parade comes through. So doing that stuff and watch the movie.
Adam's gonna get lit up for Christmas.
I'm gonna get lit.
I'm gonna try to get lit up for this episode.
He's gonna pop some vodka and Red Bull next.
That's
dangerous. Other than that, haven't really had a lot of time for much. I played catch up on the first little bit of the second season of a very good show that we've talked about a couple times before, Stand Against Evil.
Oh yeah, I've watched the first 2 episodes.
Love it. Now,
oh my god,
second season so far is not really. I don't know. It didn't start off as strong, but it's good.
You know what? I watched season 1, and I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was trying too hard to be Evil Dead.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that. Say
right?
that too.
And I think that kind of ruined it for me a little bit. Like, there was just enough originality that it's fine. But when you see someone or see a show that's like it was too much like Evil Dead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Nothing to be
Adam,
said. That's what we do.
I'm sorry.
I accept it, Tim.
Look at me in the camera.
I accept. I accept.
Okay. Continue.
Continuing. Okay. Shit. Nothing else. I'm done. That's all I had.
Did I throw you all off because of that?
No, I was just elongating and elaborating on what we talked about. That's all. So I'm done. All right.
Who wants to announce what we're talking about tonight?
Oh well. I mean,
do we have more stuff to talk about?
I don't think that we have anything else to talk about. Let me just, say what we're going to get into, because it is kind of, the movie that I chose tonight. So,
and yeah, dude.
Okay, we're going to get into conversation in a minute. So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, after we take a break in a couple of moments, we are going to be talking about the amazing 2010 film from Jee-woon Kim, I Saw the Devil.
Yeah.
This movie blew me away the first time I saw it. Bought it on Blu-ray. Have never looked back. I watch the movie at least once a year. I love this movie. Period. So, first time for Tim to see it, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim's first time seeing this movie. We recommended it. We put it on the show. Tim saw it. So, we're going to come back after a quick break, and we are going to get right into the conversation about 2010's I Saw the Devil. Coming back in a minute.
Hi everybody, this is Vincent DeSanti, the writer and director of Friday the 13th fan film Never Hike Alone, and you are listening to the great commentary of They Cast from the Coast. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to check out Never Hike Alone, which is streaming for free on YouTube right now.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning back in with us as we continue our discussion tonight on the 2010 amazing film, I Saw the Devil. So, let me start off with a little bit of a plot and a background here. So, the whole idea for this movie is the fact that we have an agent, a federal agent in Korea by the name of Kim Soo-hyun, who his fiance is kidnapped, tortured, and murdered by a serial killer. And when Kim finds out that his beloved has been done to her, he seeks out the serial killer and decides to play a little bit of catch and release, cat and mouse, in a very torturous and dark way with this guy to exact his revenge. All right. First and foremost, because I just gave out the bit of the plot here, we're going to go around the table a little bit here. Tim, this is your first time seeing the movie, so I'm going to go to David first. Because I want...
No.
Yeah!
That doesn't make any sense.
I know!
Okay.
He's
Changing
giving
that...
you a minute to collect your thoughts.
Changing that
That's what
shit
it
up.
is.
No, he's been collecting thoughts since last night, but I'm changing that shit up. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's good.
All right. Plot and story. Your feeling on the plot and story, Dave, the overall writing on this movie.
I thought this movie was phenomenal. I commented earlier, Adam, to you. We had a short discussion, and I said my comment then was, this movie is gut-wrenching, and it's so well done. You know, afterwards, it literally it makes you feel dirty. Like it's so brutal, it's so realistic, it's so gut-wrenching. And I think that's a tribute to the writing and the acting and the directing and the cinematography. It's such a brutal movie, but it's so well done. It affects you on so many different levels. I mean, you feel for this guy. You feel for the family with what the serial killer did, you know what I mean, to the guy's fiance and the other women as well. And then you have, it's like watching a martial arts action movie mixed in with horror and drama, and it's got all these different emotions and all these different things going on in this movie. And it's hard to classify it as a straight out horror because of the action and the martial arts and the fighting, and it's just got a bit of everything into it. I mean, it's obviously a horror movie. It's an out and out horror movie, but it just has so much going on. I love the movie. I think it's very well done. I think it was executed perfectly. And I had no idea. I never even heard of this movie until Adam told me about it, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, you got to see this movie. And you had actually got the Blu-ray, and you gave me the Blu-ray and said, here, go home and check this out. And I never even heard of it before. And I sat down one night, kids went to bed, plopped it on, and I was blown away. Like, it was amazing. I had no idea. I had no idea what kind of movie this was going to be.
Absolutely. Tim.
What are you asking me?
Story, outline, the premise.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. No, I'm kidding. I fucking love this movie. I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. Okay, so like Dave, I've never heard of this film, ever, and I sat down Saturday night to watch it, and I tried downloading it, and I tried going on my Android box, and both versions fucked up.
Ooh.
And I'm going, man, what's going on? What's going on? I don't think I'm supposed to watch this movie. And then a good friend of mine, Chad, was over, and he said, well, try Netflix. Guess what's on Netflix?
Oh, no
I
way.
Saw the Devil. So that's where I watched it. And the good thing is because one of the things that kept messing up was I did download it, but it didn't have the subtitles. So I don't know Korean. So I
Tim don't know Korean. So
yeah, I don't know Korean. But with all that being said, well, actually, I have another little part to add to that. my friend Andrew ended up showing up, and he saw the last half hour. He was so enthralled with this movie that he knows the end. He's going back to watch it from the start.
Nice.
That's how good this movie was. The biggest thing that I can say about the story and the plot was, because it's a foreign film, because it's a Korean film, it's almost like the director, the story writers, the producers, whoever, everybody that helped make this movie had a very different kind of sensibility, a very different vision. Because, yes, it had action, yes, it had violence, it had all this stuff that you would expect from like a Hollywood movie, but like Dave said, there was this it was almost like raw, like gritty, squeamish, not for the faint of heart kind of style to it. And I was blown away. I was blown away that it's in reality, it's a very simple story.
Oh, very much so.
But I like the idea that, I think his name was Jee-woon, the main guy, the character.
Oh, the serial killer himself?
Agent? No, the secret agent was Jee-woon. That's what it's saying in my...
Soo-hyun. Kim Soo-hyun.
Oh, well, it's saying something different. Anyways, whatever. Secret agent. Special agent.
The main guy.
I called him Korean Batman.
Korean Batman. That's perfect.
I mean, he had gadgets. He knew how to fight. He did detective work. Korean Batman.
And he wore black.
Yeah, and he was wearing black. But lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I loved it. I loved how gritty it was. It was like a merciless experience that I wasn't expecting. I was not expecting this movie. And like the thing that I was really impressed with was, you know, like I said, it was a simple story, but they added a little bit to it with the whole catch and release idea. Like that's awesome, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like how, yeah, I'm not going to butcher his name. I'm just going to call him Secret Agent. Secret Agent Husband Man.
Proceed. Secret Agent Husband Man.
I like that he was almost like borderline turning into a serial killer.
Yeah, he was becoming psychotic.
Like he almost was like there with him, right?
Well, and you remember the scene, like getting more towards the end, where the killer is in the house with the other guy and his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and he's a serial killer, and they're talking about this guy that's hunting him, and they're basically like, he's like one of us. He's one of us.
He's psychotic.
He's psychotic. Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. So I agree with both of you guys on everything that you said. I love the simplicity of the story. It's not overshadowed by anything in particular. It doesn't become overcomplicated. It's the catch and release is great. I love, and David, you just brought him up, the other characters that they introduce in this movie, which are somewhat fodder in the movie, but they play a decent role because it reveals like an underground like association with other serial killers, right? Because like he's saying, you know, they came together at one point to overthrow the government. They were making like a militant group to overthrow the government, and they got to know each other and they became friends. And it's like, okay, well, this guy's a cannibal. He's a different kind of serial killer and murderer, and his girlfriend's just psychotic bitch woman. And then you've got this guy who's just a murderer and rapist. You know what I mean? And I say just, but you know what I mean, right? Like he's a murderer and a rapist, and it kind of plays that really nicely. And
well, it kind of reminds me that, and I never watched the show, but I know about the premise of it. It's a TV show that was on. I think it only ran a couple seasons. Kevin Bacon was in it, and he was the main guy. And wasn't it about like this network of The Following? Yeah, that's what it was. And it was basically about this network of serial killers that were communicating. It was a network of serial killers was the premise of the TV show. And yeah, I just picked up on that when you mentioned that, Adam. It's like, really, that's kind of what they're playing off here was, I mean, he's associated with, you know, with these various other guys perhaps, and it's like a network of serial killers, and ends up at this other guy's place, almost like a safe haven to hide out.
I'm going to my friend's house
figure
now.
out, I mean, to kind of figure out what's going on. But I mean, totally disturbing, right? I mean, the guy opens up the fridge and he's got like body parts in there, and I've already eaten all the guts, and he goes and gets this other chick. He's gonna, kill her and cook her up or cut her up or whatever. Like, it's just, the movie's so disturbing. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And everything is so realistic and brutal. It's like, when he jams the screwdriver through the guy's cheek
to shut him up. Yeah.
When he takes the scalpel and he cuts the tendons.
Yeah.
Jeannie walked into the room last night while I was watching that, and she's like, "Oh, for God's sakes, what the hell are you watching?" Completely grossed her out. Yeah.
Movie.
Research podcast.
That's right. All right, moving on from the story. Acting in the movie. Dave, acting.
I thought the acting was top notch. These guys certainly weren't first time actors. I thought the roles were well played. I mean, I would say the guy that played the serial killer was probably obviously had I would say the best role and probably played it the best, followed up by Secret Agent Man. And but everybody,
it's Kim Soo-young.
It's okay. Secret Agent Husband Man.
Yeah.
Secret Agent Husband.
But everybody played their role. And I mean, I had goosebumps even just the opening scene when they were looking for the body and they found the head, right? But I mean, it was like this big epic search scene, and with like, it was so well shot and so well acted. I thought it was top notch. Like I didn't have a problem with the acting at all.
Nice, Tim.
I thought every actress that was in this movie, even though they were speaking a completely different language, I knew what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, they were amazing. Secret Agent Husband Man was awesome, right? Because not only was he able to give that level of depth with his emotions and how he conveyed them, but he also did 80% of his own stunts, right? So you got all the action shit too that he's doing. I don't even. It's serial killer. Old Boy. We'll call him Old Boy because he's from Old Boy.
Yes,
right?
yes.
We'll call him Old Boy. Holy shit! That end scene where he you know what I'm talking about, and he's falling, and then he lifts his eyes up, and it's literally dead, and he's like, I don't fear, I have no fear. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, the acting was absolutely phenomenal, but my favorite thing was they acted like real people. Did you notice that most of these people weren't stupid? You know, when you're watching movies and they're stupid?
Yeah.
These people were not stupid. They acted like real people. And I that was the biggest thing I took away from this, was the acting was like,
real nice.
Real nice.
Absolutely. There was a lot of emotion that came into the acting with this movie. Right down from the very first scene that really struck me. Obviously, the opening was really well done, where he was trying to get into the car, and all of a sudden he just smashes the windows and shit like that.
But did you notice that she actually acted how you're supposed to act? She rolled it down this much.
Yes.
Then when she was done, she rolled it up and did not make eye contact.
Yeah, she was proper about it. Like, they really did it well.
Yeah.
But like the first part of the movie that was truly heartbreaking for me was when she's lying there on the ground and he's strapping her arms up.
Yeah.
And she has no energy. There's no life left to her. And she's trying to appeal to him. Yeah. And I'm sitting here just like tugging at the heartstrings this damn scene is. And it was incredible. And he was just absolutely cold. Yeah. He was just like smoking a cigarette. Well, this knife's going to do the job.
She's looking up at him. She's like, "Please don't kill me." And he looks at her and goes, "Why?" Yeah. I'm pregnant. And he goes, boom, 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 boom. Like, there was no, and I was like, what movie am I watching? Like, I literally, because that was the movie that sold it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the movie. That was the scene that sold it for me. And he
truly was a heartless serial killer.
Yeah.
That did, like, there wasn't even like a small emotion, like where she would be like, I'm pregnant. And he didn't go like, what? And have like, you know, a moment of thought. No, it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, dead. Okay, cool. All right. Gore and effects. Dave.
Top notch. And realistic.
Realistic,
He
yes.
keeps going to you first.
I know.
This guy.
You know, practical effects.
Oh, yes.
None of this CGI bullshit. I mean, the blood was red. The blood was real. It was, top notch. The gore was phenomenal. One of the goriest movies out there, I would say, because it's so brutal and realistic.
Well, that's the thing. It only really truly needed to show certain things, and it did show a lot.
And I wouldn't say it's over the top, because over the top starts looking fake and it's too much and it's not realistic. This was brutal, and it was gory, but it wasn't over the top. It was realistic.
It was almost guinea pig.
It was disturbing. Yes, that's what a lot of this stuff reminded me of.
The reality of how people were killed and murdered and sliced up. And, and the injuries.
Second one,
Flowers of Flesh and Blood. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It was very much.
Yep.
Like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Realistic.
Tim.
All right.
Bueller.
All right. I thought the special effects were absolutely phenomenal. When you look at, the gore of, cutting into someone and, all that kind of like wounds and shit were great. But the biggest thing that I was impressed with, and probably, again, it was part of that 5-minute span where this movie literally sold me, was when they're all looking for her body at the very start, and they find the head in the water, and they kind of poke it with the stick, and just how it turns with the hair.
Yeah.
And it's all floating, but the severed head looked identical to the actress. And then, I don't want to spoil the end, because we didn't get there in the conversation yet, but that final head, again, looked exactly the same. And it was like the body parts, and when he went in and cut out the Achilles tendon, and oh my God, the cab scene where it was just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
how did they do that?
and the rotating camera while it's happening.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Yes, absolutely phenomenal.
I cannot say enough about the cinematography of this film.
That's a good point. And you know what? I'm watching it, and I thought the exact same thing, because it had been a few years since I watched it, but in the cab, it pans around, and then it comes around again, and I'm like, how the fuck did he do that?
Just
wait a minute.
Amazing camera effort.
Amazing.
Well, simplest idea is you have the car that's stationary.
Yeah.
You have a 360-degree background that's all the way around, and then you're just literally almost like a top, and it's just spinning. That's how they did it. I just figured that out now.
Nice, Tim.
I did.
Nice.
On this episode 41, they cast for the coast.
Tim did that.
I almost want to unplug my mic and talk.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The scale of the cinematography in this movie is definitely something that we have to touch on for a second too. We had mentioned it a couple times. Right from the very beginning, where they're searching, and it's epic in scale. It really is. There's hundreds of people in the shot, whether they were really there or post-processed, edited in afterwards. There was crap loads of people, right down to the simple shots like that, or the close shots of the Achilles heel rip, or one of my favorite, most brutal scenes, because it was so simple yet raw, was when he had the pipe in the car, and he stops the car and he looks at the girl, and he puts it right there, and then he just picks it up and just starts whacking her, and it's one shot.
Brutal.
And he just beat. And then it was like, oh my God,
I like that extra little beat.
You gotta pause there for a second for effect, right? But yes, The cinematography was out of this world with this movie. And it plays a lot in the fact that Korean filmmakers, like the guys that are really putting out the good shit, know how to get a good shot. And I'm just going to throw this out there. Old Boy. This movie felt a lot like Old Boy. Yep. And I guarantee if you look up a lot of the background cast and crew, you'd probably find a lot of the same people worked on this movie as they did Old Boy too.
Like I said, the serial killer was Old Boy.
Exactly. And Old Boy to this day contains one of my favorite brutal fight scenes ever filmed. The scene in the hallway with the hatchet. We're not
talking about Old Boy.
I know that, Tim. I've been shut down on our show.
Add bonus. We can't do bonus reviews. What is this?
We don't give that shit away.
Jeez.
I'm not getting paid extra for that shit.
Exactly, so. Adam.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Calm down here.
All right.
You're not?
No.
All right. Final thoughts and overall on the movie, Tim.
I loved this movie, but I feel that the director didn't necessarily know when to say cut, or when he was doing his edit. Like, this movie, I think, was maybe 15, 20 minutes too long. And he could have cut 15, 20 minutes out of it, and it still would have been a potent movie. I loved how you got these two main characters. You got the husband and the serial killer. And they're two totally different ends of the spectrum. But then when they come to the end of the movie, they're like completely different people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because when the secret agent gets, his final revenge and that elaborate setup with the guillotine and the thing in his mouth and all that kind of stuff, that was awesome. It was an awesome fitting death. And the thing is like, I went on IMDb after the fact, because I usually always do, and I wanted to see, what other people around the world are thinking and reading the reviews and stuff. And time again, and I thought this while I was reading it, I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if they made a Batman versus Joker movie like this?
Oh, where was it?
Like with that level of grittiness and the cat and mouse and all this kind of stuff. And I'm reading it, and everybody's making comparisons to Batman and Joker. And I'm like, yes, I'm not alone.
Korean Batman.
Korean Batman.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was going to say, funny you mention that, because near the end of the movie where he visits the guy in the hospital, and he says, now you're going to keep smiling, and he like rips his mouth open. Right?
Nice, Dave. Yes.
Yes.
Put a smile on your face.
I didn't know anything about this movie going into it, and I feel that my life is better now from having watched it. This was an amazing film. I loved everything about it. I love the moody music. I love the cinematography. I thought the acting was on point. The story, even though, like I said, it was simple, it was very well executed. These guys knew what they were doing, and they achieved exactly what I assume was everything in this. Like, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Nice. And
20 minutes too long.
20 minutes too long, which is interesting because the movie's like 2 hours and 22 minutes. Yep. So like 20 minutes too long. So like a 2-hour movie, great.
Even 2 hours and 2 minutes. I would have been fine.
Nice. Nicely said. Dave!
But I love it.
I agree with Tim that the movie does tend to run a little bit longer than what it should. In the end, it's still a fantastic movie. Could a few more cuts been made here and there? Absolutely. All in all, I think it's a fantastic movie. It's well shot. I think this movie is a perfect example of the originality that's lacking in Hollywood today. I think we need more movies like this, and less turds that Hollywood remakes and everything else. I mean,
can I interject an opinion just there for a second, just to add on to what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it's a lack of originality in Hollywood. I think it's Hollywood unwilling to take a chance on something original.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's a ton of original content out there in novel form or even, scripts that have been written that Hollywood does not want to gamble on because
they want to take the safe turn.
Exactly. They want to make their money, and I don't blame them. They want to make their money, but sometimes you have to gamble. And I mean, I can see I Saw the Devil as being a gamble. I mean, if you look at IMDb, the movie didn't make a whole lot of money in its opening run. I mean, it was I couldn't even find what it cost to make, but I mean, I think the opening run made something like $13,000 or $14,000.
Yeah, the gross was $128,000.
Yeah,
it basically,
no doubt it probably
found
cost
life.
$10 million to make.
Yeah, yeah. It basically found life as a cult movie.
Exactly. It gained a cult following after the fact, and Hollywood doesn't like to gamble on that kind of stuff. So they try to take the safe route, and they do all the rehashes, the remakes, the reboots, everything else. And some are fine. Some have turned out okay. But again, back to what I was saying, I think this is a perfect example of originality. We need to see more of this type of originality.
No, I agree. I follow the same sentiments as both of you guys. The movie's fantastic. I couldn't recommend it enough. I had heard from the movie because I was a fan of Oldboy, and I had heard, it was being advertised on a website. I can't remember which one it was. It was like, I don't know, one of the horror websites I was dealing with at the time, and they were like, if you loved Oldboy, you will love this movie. And I went, ooh, okay, plain and simple salesman. Ooh, okay, right? So I went and I found a copy of the movie for rent, actually, at one of the local rental stores on Blu-ray, and I watched it. And I just mind blown. Everything was great.
And how long ago was this?
This was in like 2012, something like that.
And I've known you how long, and you're just telling me about this movie now?
Tim, we got a lot of shit to get through.
We've got lots of secrets.
We got lots of movies to talk about.
I'm not surprised, Dave. I'm not surprised.
But actually, it's kind of funny because the Blu-ray copy that I bought ended up being the rental copy that I'd rented from that store. I walked in one day, they had the rental copy for sale for $5. So I went, fuck it, Blu-ray $5 of I Saw the Devil. It was the rental copy from that store.
Now, is your copy that you have, is it just subtitled or is it dubbed?
No, it's just subtitled. Yeah, no, I did actually see it dubbed once in one of my times because I wanted to kind of see what it would be like with the dubbing, and still a great movie.
Take something away from it, though.
But it does take something away from it because it like a lot of Asian films that are dubbed Americanese, there is a lot of overacting in the voice, and it just kind of grated on me. So it didn't come across. And like the girlfriend at the beginning, who was his fiance, her voice just totally didn't even match, and nothing seemed right about that. So it was terrible that way. So either which way, this movie's beautiful. I love it. I recommend it to anybody. If we can sway Tim over with this movie, we can sway anybody over with this movie.
It wasn't like it was a hard sway. Come on now.
Well, no, but Tim, let's face it. We recommend a movie that you haven't seen, and you go,
heard of it.
Yeah, but we recommend a movie and you go, okay, and because you don't trust our recommendations after Suspiria.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't trust
yours.
Suspiria.
I'm just gonna bring up Suspiria. yeah, you don't trust my recommendations after Suspiria. So now I've got one back in the black on this one.
Yeah,
so.
you're.
I'm back up.
You're not
up. You're even.
You're even now. Yeah.
I have gained trust again. Literally, that's it.
No, you didn't gain any, but you didn't lose any. Like you're back to square one. Like you're starting over from scratch.
Clean slate.
Clean slate.
Don't screw this up, Adam. Don't screw this up. All right. So with that being said, everybody, we're going to actually complete the show for the night because we're going to get ready for our extra super special side project, which is going to be amazing. And so with that, I say like, subscribe, tune in, check out the new show when we get it launched, and don't forget to interact with us. We love hearing from everybody on the Facebook pages. Until next time, Dave.
Good night.
Tim.
Say spooky, you beautiful bastards.
Stay spooky, you beautiful bastards. We'll see you next time, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this week to They Cast from the Coast. We hope you enjoyed the topic and the discussion that we've had tonight. We're very excited about everything that's being produced right now in conjunction with the Misunderstood Art Company. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Say hi in the comments section. And just in general, check out the other content that's being offered, once again, under the Misunderstood Art Company. If you want to listen just to the audio portion of this show itself, we're making it available on iTunes, Google Play, and TuneIn on top of the YouTube channel itself. So thank you very much again for your continued support. Check out the rest of the Misunderstood Art Company's offerings. You might even see some familiar faces. And until next time, take it easy.